Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in. Come on in, you all. I had to come do this message quickly. How is everyone doing? Come on in. Come on. Come on in. Listen, I had to come do this message. And you see the title. I was thinking about this. I'm always thinking about just, life and, different situations that I've experienced, different circumstances, right? And what I've noticed is, when you are a person who is pure, and when you are a person that has good intentions, and when you are pure, it's going to bring a lot of envy and jealousy. It's going to bring a lot of hate, and it's going to bring a lot of, you know, just hate from people who really are not trying to do what's right, who really don't have a pure heart, who really can't stand that you stand for what's right. You don't even have to be religious, but because you stand for what's right and you stand on truth, you're going to be hated, right? People are going to lie on you. They're going to slander you. They're going to make you look bad. That's part of it. And you really can't do them like they do you, because in your heart, you can't treat and do your enemies and people who lie on you and do you wrong and talk about you and, say all manners of evil towards you. You can't do them that way, because if you do them like they do you, that's going to come back on you. That is why it's so hard for some of you all to treat people how they treat you. Before you treat people how they treat you, you'll stop dealing with them. You will just cut them off. You'll stop dealing with them. You'll just go no contact, because you don't want that cycle, that vicious cycle, to keep repeating itself. It'll come back to you. That's why even if you try to act, right? If you try to act a certain way, if you try to get your heart in an evil way because somebody's mistreating you, you didn't feel good about it. You didn't feel good. You can't do them. You can't do people how they do you. The best thing to do for people who are talking behind your back, who are slandering you, who are going to their family, making it seem like you're crazy, that you're just this unfit father, this unfit mother, you're just this crazy person. Before you go and try to defend yourself, before you go and try to, like I said, defend yourself, just let it go. Let it go, because you know who you are. When you know who you are, you don't have to explain anything to anyone. When you know who you are, you don't have to explain anything. You don't have to get back, because you're wasting your energy. You're wasting your time and energy. When you know who you are, you don't have to try to go explain yourself. You don't have to try to go let people know, oh, that wasn't me. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. The truth will reveal itself in the end. And I know it's hard, because it was hard for me. I'm not sitting here talking from a place that I haven't experienced. Oh, it is hard. When you're a person that has a pure heart and you have good intentions towards people, it is hard for you to sit around and listen to the lies that people are telling on you. It is very difficult. It is very difficult. I'm not going to sit here and lie and act as if it doesn't bother me. It doesn't, get me angry on the inside. I'm not going to pretend. But what gives me peace, what gives me joy and hope, knowing, right, that I come from a pure place. I'm pure-hearted. I don't go just lying on people just because I feel like it, or I want to destroy someone's character. Because see, I know for me, you got a specific group of people, and I call them the chosen ones, because everybody, use this term as if it's just some term as if it's popular to use. Just like the term narcissist. Everybody's using these terms, chosen and narcissist and this and million and all these terms. No. When I say chosen, I mean what I say. I mean what I say. And only the chosen are going to know who they are when I say things. A chosen one know that they can't do everything everybody else do. You've been like that since a child. Everyone else could steal, take things, do wrong, smoke, drink, club, party, do all this different stuff. But when you do it as a chosen one, you don't feel good. You feel out of place. You feel like it's not you because it's not you. You don't feel good. You don't feel good being nasty and mean to people. Some people just heartless and cold. They can do that. You can't do it, chosen one. And this is why you got caught up with what they call the so-called narcissist. You've got caught up with these type of people because they are cold-hearted and you have a big heart. They don't have emotions and empathy. You are full of emotion and empathy. They can care less about who they hurt. You are concerned and you think before you do things. Before you do anything, you consider the pain it'll bring on people. They could move on and you just broke up with them 2 days ago. They'll be in a whole nother relationship. You got to go somewhere and get yourself together. You got to heal and get yourself together. They could go lie on you, slander you, and you won't utter a word about them. You be behind the scenes still trying to protect their character. Oh, it just didn't work out. You'll be trying to come up with something that sounds good while they're slandering you, talking about you're crazy, you're lazy, you don't want to do anything. And one thing about these type of people, what they call narcissistic people, let me tell you, they're the type of people that will confess what they are doing to someone. They're big on confession. They're big on projection. Everything that they're saying someone is doing to them is actually what they're doing. It's actually who they are. But they got to project that on someone else to make them look like they're evil, they're bad. Yes, they will. This is why you have to know who you are. This is why I say you can't do people how they do you, because you're not them. You're not cold-hearted like they are. You're not evil like they are. You have a big heart. They have no heart. They are heartless humans. They are heartless. This is why you have to stay connected to God. This is why you have to stay connected to the Most High. So He can guide you. So He can order your steps. So He can navigate you and move you. Some of you all got caught up in these relationships because you didn't know who you are. Oh, they knew who you were, but you didn't know who you were. Oh, they saw all that goodness in you. They saw all that goodness in you. That's why they tried to devalue you and make it like you don't have any value. How stupid is that? They are trying to devalue you, make you feel like you don't have value. If you didn't have value, they don't have to try to make you feel like you don't have it. That's the answer within itself. When someone tries to devalue you, how are you going to devalue someone who has the value? They the one don't have the value. They got to, project all of their negativity onto you. Make you seem like you're not who God says you are. Oh, you're it. You're it. You're it. That's why you can't operate and function how they do. You can't move how they move. That's why I'm here to tell you, you can't do people how they do you. Oh, they're very mobile moms. Mobile's Moms by Tahita. Yes, honey, they're very manipulative and projection. That's why I say you can't do people how they do you. See, in this season here, as a chosen one, you're going to have to stay grounded. And when I mean grounded, that means you're going to have to stay grounded and focused on who you are. You have to know who you are. If you don't know who you are, you have to go to God and ask God to show you who you are. Because some people, they play, that's why I tell y'all have to heal. And I talk about this. They play on your trauma. That's how you got in these relationships with these demons. They play on your trauma. You trauma bonded. There was never love there in that relationship. There was never no love. What you thought was love was based on your toxic view of what love is, because you were born into a family that was toxic. So guess what? You met somebody who got that same familiar spirit. You met someone with the familiar spirit. You all bonded over your trauma. That's why you never really had peace in that relationship. That's why everything was your fault in the relationship, in the friendship, on the job, whatever type of ship. That's why everything was your fault. You to blame for everything. You're the crazy one. You're this, you're that. You're all of that. And these people will drive you crazy because you would think you're the problem when they are the problem. But they want to project all of that negativity onto you. Oh, they're good at projection, and they're good at creating narratives. They're good at recruiting their flying monkeys. They're good at it. They're good at turning people against you. They're good at it. This is part of their manipulation and deception. But let me tell you something. These people don't get away unscathed. Especially in these times right now. These people are not getting away. Especially when they're touching God's chosen. When they're touching God's chosen. When they're touching his anointed, they're not getting away. Because you don't have to have no church title to be anointed. You don't have to have no religious degree to be anointed. No, you chosen from the womb. You're chosen from the womb. Y'all have to unlearn that foolishness. You're chosen from the womb. You've been through a lot. But they're not getting away. And then this is the sad part. You have to not rejoice. Don't rejoice when judgment come on these people. And it's not that you speaking it. It's just part of the cycle. It's called reaping and sowing. When judgment come on these people, don't sit and rejoice. But also don't go and try to rescue them. Don't go and try to rescue. Let them go through their judgment. Because half of you all were in the way from the first place. They couldn't get their judgment because you were in the way. God was protecting you. They didn't get judgment because you were in the way. You were still there. You were saving them from their judgment. Whether you want to believe it or not, you don't think you're that powerful. Yes, you were. Because some of y'all could testify right now. Some of y'all on here can testify. When you left that toxic relationship, when you left that toxic family, when you left that toxic job, did it fall? Did it stand? What happened to it? You tell me. What happened? Is it the same? You carry that much power. People don't want to believe it. They don't want to believe it. You carry that much power. Because it's who you are. It's your energy. Wherever you go, you are blessed. Whatever you touch, you multiply. You grow it. Wherever you walk, you are favored. Wherever you go at, you operate in excellence. Some people gonna love you, but a lot of people are going to hate you because of that light. And you operate in excellence, and you treat people well. You treat people right, how they need to be treated. You treat everybody right. You know how to treat people. You know how to love people genuinely. You know. It's just who you are. You don't have to pretend. Yes, you will just have favor wherever you go. This is why you can't do people how they do you. Because for one, it's not in you. It is hard to be something you're not. Oh, I tried it and I was miserable. Listen, I tried it. I was miserable. I'm not gonna lie. I tried to be, treat people how they did me. I tried it. I was so miserable. I was so miserable. I let a person one time project their behavior onto me. They wanted to kind of like swap personalities, so to say. They wanted me to be like them, and they tried to take all my goodness. You can't have my goodness. You can't be what you're not, and I can't be what I'm not. Yes, it did. And I realized that God showed me this is not you. I was depressed too. And I was dealing with depression. I'm like, wonder why I was depressed. And I'm sitting there and I was sitting down and the Holy Spirit say, this why you depressed. This why. He showed me. You trying to be this, and this. This is not you. Oh, I snapped up out of that thing. When I tell you I got up out that thing, I snapped. I pulled myself up out of that thing so quick. Oh, yes, they want that light mobile. They can't have it. They want that energy. They want our light, and they can't have it. They can't have it. That's why they tried to abuse it up out of you. That's why they tried to degrade you, devalue you, make you feel like you were worthless. That's why they tried to emotionally abuse you. Hey, Keisha. Oh, thank you. I got it retwisted. Thank you so much. That's why they do that. That's why they speak bad of you. That's why they go and slander your name. Because they hate that goodness in you. And another thing they hate, that you stand for truth. You're not putting nobody down. You're not making people feel bad. You're not, you're not trying to tell people how to live their life. The only thing you're doing is standing in your truth, living in your truth. You're not doing anything no one else is doing. But when you do it, it's a problem. When you stand up to something, it's a problem. When you speak against something, it's a problem. When you don't want to participate, it's a problem. They will make you feel like you are the problem, and you will want to change yourself if you don't know who you are. You would want to change who you are if you don't know who you are. This is why you have to know who you are. And sometimes, I'm going to be honest, some of you all never got to know who you were. Some of you all never got to know who you are. Because you've been so busy being everything to everybody else. You went from one relationship, one long-term relationship to the next. You never sat down to get to know you. And when I mean get to know you from back when you were a child. When you were carefree, free-spirited. loving, creative. You lost that person inside of a relationship, inside of taking care of your children. You lost that person. You can't be no good to no one if you don't know who you are. You can't be any good to anyone if you don't know who you are. You don't know who you are. What do you like? You so concerned about everybody else. And this is not to be selfish. Because see, people love to say, I had somebody that used to tell me this all the time, that I was selfish because I verbalized to them what I was wanting. People will try to say to you what they are, which means they're projecting. One thing about me, I know I'm not selfish. I grew up with nothing. Everything that I have, I had to work to get it. I had to work to get everything that I have. And I appreciate everything. I appreciate the little things. Anything somebody gives me that I didn't ask for, that's appreciated above something that I asked for. Well, I'll say, yeah, that I asked for. I probably mention things. I'm appreciative of all things. I probably could mention things. And if somebody's listening and get it for me, I would be appreciative. I grew up wearing hand-me-downs and different things like that. So I know where I come from, that I'm appreciative. I never think I'm above someone. That's why I know God gonna be able to trust me with millions. I know this. See, let me tell you, I know this for a fact. He's going to be able to trust me because I know what it is to live without. I know what it is to have a lot, and I know what it is to have nothing. So I have balance there. People want to project all of their insecurities and their flaws onto you to make you feel bad. You know who you are. You know you got the juice. What they say, the sauce. You know you walking in excellence. You're not prideful. You know you treat people good. You know you are valuable. You know you'll make an excellent wife to the right person. No, you'll never be the right wife to the wrong person. Nothing will never be good that you do to the wrong person. You will never be the right husband to the wrong person. You got to think about this stuff. You got to think about this stuff. The right person the right partner who's for you, they're going to elevate you. It's going to be peaceful. There's going to be understanding, not chaos and confusion. God don't operate in confusion. And this doesn't mean that you will be without problems. That's not what I mean. Everything have problems. The word tells us that. It will rain on the just and the unjust. That means if you know God, you're going to have issues. And it means if you don't know him, you're going to have issues. So I'd rather go through my issues knowing God and believing in him. You're the right person. You got to know who you are. See, we get so caught up in feeling like we are worthless because of somebody who is not worth anything telling you that you're worthless, that you're not valuable. Look at the tree. Look at the fruit on the tree that's speaking to you. Look at their life. Look at your parents' life. They probably told you all that you wouldn't. Look at their life. Normally, people who are unhealed, who are jealous, who hate themselves, they are the only ones talking about what somebody isn't. Good-spirited, wealthy people in spirit are not putting other people down. They are encouraging other people. They're motivating. Those are the motivators, the encouragers. They're not wasting their time putting people down, trying to make them feel bad. People who try to put you down and make you feel bad are already down. They're already beneath you, so they want to bring you down with them. You got to believe that. You have to believe that. No one who feels good about themselves are walking around. They're not walking around looking to put other people down. Only people who don't feel good about themselves are doing that. Only people who are lying on other folks and slandering people, they're the ones that don't feel good about themselves. They hate themselves. So they got to make themselves feel good by talking and lying on someone else. Once you get this, that's why I'm an advocate for personal growth and development. That's why I'm an advocate for healing. When you heal and you get new knowledge and you grow personally, you grow spiritually, these folks will be a non-factor. These people, you'll look past them, you'll feel sorry for them. You know you healed when you can just look at them and say, I just feel sorry for you. This is when you know you are doing the work. You are really doing the work. If you can look at a person and just look at them, they tried to harm you, and you can look at them and feel sorry for them. Because you know they got to be a miserable human to be trying to destroy somebody's good name, destroy somebody's character. It's something on the inside that they are fighting. It's something going on in them. When you realize that what people are doing to you, how people are trying to harm you, slander you, make you feel, you have to realize when people are attacking you, it says more about them than you. You got to learn this. You got to learn it. It says more about them than you. Think about this. For somebody to mistreat you and you don't know them, that's not your fault. That's not your issue. Think about this. Think about it now. Think about it. Someone that you don't know is angry with you. They are mistreating you. They just giving you attitude for no reason. When you are a healed person, you know that has nothing to do with you. When you are a healed person, you know that what they're going through has nothing to do with you. And guess what? You can let them keep their stuff. Let them keep their stuff. Sometimes we carry people's stuff too much. We let people drop their baggage on us. We let people drop their stuff on us. No, you let people keep their stuff. Oh no, when I tell you I had to learn, it took me years to master this. Because I wasn't emotionally healed. It took me years to give people back their stuff, to hold people accountable, let people be accountable for themselves. I'm not picking up your issues. Your issue is your issue. And I'm not taking it home. I'm not keeping it. But chosen ones, I didn't want to go through all that, but you can't do them how they do you. You just can't do it. Regardless of how you want to, you can't do it. It's in you. So with that being said, continue being who you are. Continue, and don't let people change you. Don't let people change you, because see, people want to leave you so broken and hurt that they want to change you into somebody bitter. They want to change you into somebody bitter, miserable, and sad. No, don't let them do that. Don't let them change you from who you are. If you are a giving person, continue to give. If you are a loving person, continue to love. You just can't give your goodness to them because they don't appreciate it. You don't give it to them. Ignore them. You can ignore people. You can forgive them and you can ignore them. You don't have to acknowledge people. You don't have to give them your energy. Where do we get this stuff from? We got to unlearn this foolishness. And you know, folks will go to the Bible and try to use the Bible to keep you in bondage. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that. Because in the word, it tells you so many things about not dealing with toxic people, people who are unequally yoked, people who are not on the same path. So all this watered down religion that people want to keep you in bondage with, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that anymore. I used to. I got a new revelation. I don't believe in that. You don't have, I do believe that you don't have to hate people. You don't have to mistreat them. But I also believe you don't have to reconnect with toxic folks. You don't need to toxic people. Pray for them from a distance. Pray for them from over yonder. And you let them go on over yonder. Let them go on by themselves and do what they want to do. And you go on by yourself and you do what you need to do. I don't believe in that. You got to keep people around who's trying to destroy you. Like, that don't even make sense. Your spirit don't even feel good. That's not loving yourself. That's not loving yourself. You can't love anyone else until you love yourself. Oh, they skip over that. You can't love your neighbor like you love yourself because you don't love yourself. You can't love the next person. So until you learn to love yourself, then you can spread the love and, you know, put up boundaries with everyone else. But some of you all can't do that. Let me tell you why. You can't do it. Because you never got to know you. You don't know you. You don't know you. You know the you who people want you to be, who they wanted you to be. People put their projections on you and you molded yourself into what they wanted you to be. That's why you're depressed. Because you're not walking in your authentic self. You're not being who you are. You who your mama wanted you to be. Your mama and your dad wanted you to be somebody and you became that. You don't even like what you are doing. You don't even like who you are. But to please your mom and dad, and you grown, you got your own place. You out of their house. You're not dishonoring your parents because you're doing what you want to do. You're doing what God called you to do. You're not dishonoring them. You're miserable because you are not living your authentic life. You are not being your authentic self. No, you're not. Some of you are who your husband wants you to be, who your wife wants you to be. You shouldn't have to change yourself for nobody. A person should accept you for who you are. And what I mean by that, I'm not saying if you're nasty and mean to folks that you continue to be that way. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about if you are outgoing and you are spontaneous and now all of a sudden you became reserved and you a homebody because your spouse don't want you to be outgoing You changed yourself. If you love, trying new things, if you love sports, if you're a sports fan, sports fanatic, but your spouse is not a sports fanatic, now you don't like sports no more. Hey, Greta. Or vice versa. If you like going to elegant, high-end restaurants and you like being around, exactly, Greta. If you like going to high-end restaurants, you like mingling and being around people. I love being around people. I don't care who they are, rich, poor, as long as they can talk and they got good energy. I love being around people. Like, if you love being around people and the person you were with don't like being around people, and now you a homebody, no, you're not being authentic. You're not being you. You shouldn't have to change who you are at the core. This is why I don't believe in opposites attract. I don't believe in that no more. I don't believe in that foolishness. I don't believe in it. You got to be attracted to someone who shares similarities to you. Y'all have to have something in common other than trauma. I'm not talking about trauma bonding. This is when you get with those people who are opposite of you because you have bonded over trauma. If you get rid of that trauma, you will realize you have nothing in common. You get rid of that trauma, what do you have in common? I'll wait. You get rid of that trauma bond, you don't have nothing in common. Y'all a tomato and an orange. Nothing in common but trauma. Exactly. That's what it's about too, Greta. It's about helping others. That's why I'm here on YouTube. It's about helping someone else. When the devil thought he was winning, he was losing, because now I get to help and coach other people through this. When he thought he was winning, he was losing. And me too. Don't feel bad, Craft Designs. Me too. I wish I knew. But that's the beauty of things. We learn. We get lessons. Life is all about lessons. We don't have to regret anything. I don't care how old we are. I don't care if you found out now that you're 80, 79. You still could teach someone else something. You still got lessons and all that wisdom. You got experience. You got experience from life. Life experience can give you something that education can't give you. This is why when I was in management, I didn't look at no degrees. I didn't care about no degrees. I looked at experience and attitude. That's what I looked at. I looked at experience and attitude. A degree can't train you to do nothing in some areas, unless it's like a nursing or nursing or being a doctor. Even then, the degree itself don't teach you. You still got to do your residency. You got to do that hand-on experience. In nursing, you got to do clinicals.